What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in, rocking with me, subscribing, all the things that you all do to help out content creators that y'all rock with. I do appreciate it. Thanks for sharing the videos, and I ask that y'all will continue to do that. That's what means the most to me. If something is said in a video and you know somebody that you feel can benefit from it or laugh about it, or you just want to tell your cousin, your homeboy, your homegirl, hey, this who I'm checking out right now, this who I'm rocking with, see what you think. Share it. I do appreciate it. Get a video a thumbs up. They say that it helps the algorithm. Um, so if it do, we'll find out. So appreciate all that y'all do and the support. My email, PROFX, which is short for Professor X. PROFX7942 @gmail.com. Feel free to use it. We're here to serve. Speaking of emails, I have been getting emails and even comments from men, and a couple of women have made a couple of comments, but particularly men who wanted me to address a subject that I have addressed, I know once, maybe twice, and that is the subject of body count. And in one of their situations, which I'm going to go from his thought, he was dealing with and is still currently dealing with the lady that when he asked her what her body count was, she became very upset and irate. And so he kind of left the situation alone and then emailed me because he wanted to know what my thoughts were about why she got an attitude about it. So this is going to be, does body count matter? Probably part three. It's probably what I'll title it. Probably part three. After having done the first two and connecting it with this young man's situation, it dawned on me that some men, not most, not most, some men don't care. Most men do care. And so I want to make this video and kind of address my thoughts about a particular area. And young man, hopefully this will answer your question as well. I think it was Instagram. A woman was on there 35 years old. And she was saying that she was single now because her and her boyfriend had got into an argument and he brought up body count to her again, which is something that they had already talked about, but for some reason it came up again. And so she told him, what's the deal? I told you before, 35 years old, have been married before, 3 kids, 4 baby daddies. And she told him, I have 60 bodies on me. I've been with 60 men, 60. 35 years old, 4 kids, no, 35 years old, 3 kids by 4 men, 60 bodies. And I guess the dude got upset and ended the relationship. Let me say to the ladies, I know that there's a lot of shame that comes when you all have those who have it. Not every woman have it, but those ladies who have gone through their 3 or 4 or their whole phase, and then you come out on the other side more mature, more wise, maybe even regretting what you have done, regretting the decisions. Maybe you was in a low place, bad place, unhealthy place, toxic place. You didn't feel good about yourself. And so you just let men run through you and run through you and run through you. And then you got yourself together, found the Lord, found Christ, found life, found an appreciation, found a newness. And you no longer wanted to live that lifestyle, but you may have racked up some bodies. There's a lot of shame that come with that. And I understand that. I'm not here to bash women. Women do things that they're ashamed of. Men do things that they're ashamed of. The difference between the two is in our culture and in our society, shame of body count doesn't really fall on them. If a man says he's been with 100 women, there's no shame in that. If a man says he's been with 100 women, he's not going to feel shame for that. If a woman says she's been with 100 men, that comes with a lot of shame. But I want to say that I now believe that it matters to those that it mattered to. And what I mean by that is once the question comes up, and I'm just going from a male point of view here, like the email. If you've been dating someone for a while, I'm not talking about y'all just met 2 weeks ago and he's all in your business, but a relationship that has been going on for a while, and obviously it's seemingly like it's going to go to the next level. And the man asks the woman, or in conversation as you're getting to know one another, and he just throw it out there, by the way, how many bodies do you have? How many men have you been with in your life? Once that question is asked, then it matters to the person doing the asking. In this situation, it matters to the man. Now, again, a woman can ask the same question, but in general, this is going to be a question that a man is going to ask a woman in general. Once he asks that question, again, some men don't care. If they don't care, they're never going to ask that question. They're going to take you, accept you, all that, and y'all go for it. It'll be something else. It won't be this question. But when the man asks that question, Keisha, we've been rocking for a couple months now, a year, whatever. I'm feeling you. Y'all getting to know one another. I've been with such and such amount of women. I'd like to know how many men you've been with. And listen, ladies, listen. I try to make my channel as fair and raw as I possibly can and still be respectful. I understand that if that number is high, it could possibly change the way he view you, even though you may not be in that mental space anymore. I do understand that. But I want to say on this video that the wrong thing to say to a man that asks that question is, why does it matter? Because if it matters to him enough to ask the question, then it matters. That means that he is going to put a lot of thought into whatever number comes out of your mouth. And it's, to be honest, it's his right to do so if it's a situation where you guys are potentially going to the next level. Again, I'm not talking about a situationship. I'm not talking about somebody that's just there to bust you down and now he being nosy. I'm talking about someone that y'all are in a full-fledged relationship. You know that this has a potential to go somewhere. You both are vetting each other out. Part of that vetting process to a guy, most men, he wants to know, did you ever have a 304 phase? That's what the body count number is for. That's what it's for. Did you ever have in your life a phase where you was giving up the cakes and the cookies and the ice cream and the honey and the jelly and the jam and the potato salad? and the honey wings and the lemon pepper wings and the teriyaki wings and the Asian zing, all that. Was there ever a time? Because again, I'm talking about something that's going into long term, or and even better than that, marriage. If he's going to marry you or be with you long term, then everything you are, he now is assuming full responsibility of it. Even if you are healed from that or no longer like that, he still needs to know. It's the same way as if you had some trauma in your life. You 40 years old now, but when you were 7 years old, some crazy stuff went on in your childhood that lasted to you, let's say till you were 17, you done went to therapy, you done did this, you done did that. Okay, you good now, you overcome, you straight. But he would still need to know. You see what I'm saying? He would still need to know there was a time that some traumatic events took place, a 10-year period in her life, in Keisha's life from 7 to 17. There was a time where she went through some crazy stuff, some abuse or whatever was going on in her family. There was a lot of fire in her life. She's overcome that now. She's 40 years old, but I'm aware of what I'm dealing with. Same thing. That's what body count does. The history of this person. He, again, he may not hold, it may not be a situation where he holds it against you, but it's an awareness of what it is that I'm dealing with. So that's why to say for a woman to, now, lady, listen to me. Listen, I'm not telling you, you can say whatever you want to say. I'm here to help. I'm here to play the role of a mediator, the role of an uncle, to give a perspective from a man's point of view. And I can't speak for all men because obviously, like I said, some men, and I would say some at a very low level, I would say 25% of men will say it don't matter to me. That's what I would say. Just judging by comments, judging by men that I know, especially when they're going to get married or take somebody extremely serious, 75 to 80% of the men I know wants to know that answer. And 20% might say, it don't matter to me. And 10% of those, I know why they would say that because their number is extremely high. So I know why they would say that. So really, if I'm being honest, only about 15% of men really don't care at all and they don't have a crazy number themselves. Now, man been with 300 women, then he obviously he don't want to have to, he of course he like, and he's changed for real, then of course he like, well, it's all good. But a regular dude that's gonna potentially get married to a woman, he's going to want to know most of the time, what is your body count? So, young man, when your girlfriend got mad when you asked that question, it's because there's probably a history there in her life that she is not proud of, and she probably has overcome it, or she's no longer living that lifestyle since she's been with you or before, whatever. And by you bringing it up, then it's the potential that you will use that information against her, and then therefore the relationship that y'all have could take a turn for the worse if you're not satisfied with that number. And again, ladies, I want to say that is something that could potentially happen. But at the end of the day, there is someone for everybody. You have to keep that in mind. If a man asks you what was your number and you 40 years old and you tell him 40, for that 35-year-old girl that I told y'all I seen on Instagram, 35 years old, been married before, and still she got twice as many bodies as she do the years of her life. Assuming she started at 17, that's about 4 or 5 men a year. That's about 4 or 5 men a year, or maybe she skipped a year and got 10 the next year. And if you got 3 or 4 children, or 3 children by 4 men, I mean, y'all know the deal. Right? That means that there's not a lot of protection going on here. So all this stuff plays a part. What all did you? I'm marrying you. That's what I'm married. You're gonna be my wife. See, a woman. Listen, ladies, you just have to remember certain things. You guys are not gonna be able to think of like a man. So if us trying to explain it to you it's not gonna work. I'm just telling you, by nature, you're never gonna get it. You can't explain to a man what it's like to have a period once a month. What your stomach feel like, the headaches, all that go on, maybe you're tired. You can tell us and we be like, oh yeah, okay, I had a headache yesterday at work. We're not gonna understand it no matter how you try to explain it. We're just not gonna get it. Right? Maybe if you get pregnant, you try to explain to a man what it feels like to carry a living body, a living person within your womb. Yeah, you can tell us. We don't. All we can relate it to is when we went to a steakhouse and ate a whole bunch of food and got full. That's all we got. We'll never understand. And this is one of those situations that as a man, the things that's in us, innate within us, territory, all these things, when we're really into somebody, we're gonna make them our wife, possession, territory, what we have, the responsibility, what the past was like, what other guys had access to, what all did you do? I mean, you've been with 60 men. How many? What? How far did that go? Was you tossing salad with half of them? Was he slapping you in the face with the other half of it? Was he hitting you on top of the forehead with the other half? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You want me to say it on YouTube and I ain't gonna do it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. There's someone that hit me in the face with it, put on forehead with it, throw me out the window and yank me back in with it. He want to know how far did this go? Tie the sausage around my neck, pull it tight. Some of them is crazy stuff. Choke my neck with it. Yeah, he want to know this because you probably a freak, right? To him, so then he want to know. Well, wait a minute. And then if you again, she said 60, but if you woman just say 40, you're like, oh man, ugh. I ain't gonna lie. That's just how I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Men know, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring this to a close. Men know, as teenagers, we know that kitty is valuable. Now, we're never going to tell you to protect it and don't give it up because our goal, our aim is to get it. Your goal and your aim is to protect it. That's just the game. We're going to chase it and y'all keep it from us unless you really, and then like that. So we know that. Our goal is to chase it. Y'all goal is to keep it. Fall in love us, like us, whatever it may be. Okay, give it to them, whatever. And this is all just to my non-Christian community. Of course, if you're a Christian, you stay pure all the way till you get married. So this ain't for the Christian belief. This is just for everybody else. The man come boom, 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 girl, you so fine, you so sexy, you blow my mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, then you just run, you chase. No, you can't have no. I don't trust you. No, you just gonna use me. No, I heard you like my friend. You play all them games while this teenager. No, you don't. No, you just want me for my body. No, you just. And then sooner or later you huff and puff and y'all play around, right? But he chasing you get. So he know now if that's the goal we chase, she act like she don't want it, and you've done that with 40 men. Yeah, it's gonna tell him something. I apologize, lady, but it is. I have to keep it real. Just like y'all could come on here, have a channel, keep it real with on you guys' side. It's gonna tell them something. It's gonna tell them that there was a point in your life that the kitty was obtained very easily, and then he has to decide: is this something that I'm able to deal with and take serious for the rest of my life? So, let me say it one more time. It matters to those that it matters to. Once the question is asked, there's no going back. You either have to answer it and take the chance or avoid it. And I'm telling you now, he's not. If you avoid that question to a man, that relationship is going down. It's just a matter of he's not going to trust because something in him told him to ask. When you avoided it, then you answered his question. He can put whatever number in there that he wants. You don't want him to do that. So just come clean. And let's help the next generation. That's how we're going to fix that. We help the ladies. Hey, men, we try to take the ladies more serious. To the ladies, try to guard that treasure box better. You know, do something else when you feel like going through a little phase because this thing do have the potential to catch up with you when you're ready to settle down. Y'all got it? Good. Adios.